We're live. This is going to be interesting. Brentford 2, Arsenal 0. It's the player ratings.
We are Arsenal.
When we born,
We love Arsenal.
oh yes,
We are Arsenal.
no mercy.
We're Arsenal. Forever. We are Arsenal.
Road to Wembley,
We love Arsenal.
oh yes,
We are Arsenal.
can't stop us.
We're Arsenal. Forever. Tony Adams. Ray Parlour.
Gone are those days. Gone are those days. This is Point Blank, the player rating show, and I've got two special guests for me today. Armoury TV regular.
How are we doing?
What's going on, people?
We're here.
Excuse me, amateur hour. I've just got rid of myself. Gumsa, how you doing?
I'm all right. I've recovered. I actually watched the game again on Sunday. Not to say it was any better, but I actually feel a little bit more optimistic. Like it was better than I remember it being on Friday. Friday, I was in the bin, but watching it again, actually, there were a few more positives. So, yeah, I'm not as bad as I was on Friday, but still not happy.
GunnerKing, we missed you in the preview. We know you were on another stream. What was your take on the game on Friday?
Listen, I'm still angry. I'm still angry. Let me tell you the angriest part, yeah, because I didn't get to speak about it on this stream, yeah. The angriest part, yeah, Ian Wright is the reason I support this football club. Yeah. As a kid, that's the first player I ever remember idolizing. I might idolize Thierry Henry a bit more now, given what he went on to achieve. But Henry's where it all started for me, yeah. And in the 81st minute, I was staring at the TV. And the image of his face staring on the pitch, that haunts me. It's haunted me all weekend. And let me tell you what else about that, yeah. That face, that summarizes everything about Arsenal Football Club right now. A legend, yeah, of this club, looking at the current club on the pitch and not even recognizing what the fuck he sees. Sorry, man. And yeah, that's been the most harrowing part about what happened on Friday.
It is. It's one of them ones. But we did have some chances. We had about 3 times more than them. It was just no end product. There was just nothing. And it was obvious that Brentford wanted it more, and they got it. And you can tell they had a game plan, and they stuck to it, and they got the result that they wanted. It was evident they know we can't play from the back, and they exploited that. I mean, there was a few shaky moments. I think there was one that sticks out to me where Burton Ellis played the Xhaka again, and then nearly. Was it just wide? I think it was one of the first attempts on goal for them. So, tell you what, we can go on about this. Let's go straight into
the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yeah, exactly. You keep putting Granit Xhaka in there, and you keep insisting on a playing out from the back system when you do not have the complete prerequisite of personnel necessary to be able to execute that strategy. You're going to get the same results.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into this. Let's go with the goalkeeper first. Bert Leno, Gums, I'll come to you first.
I'll be honest. I think got criticised for the first goal. I don't really think that's his fault. I think from that angle there, I think if the guy's going to shoot, he's going to go across you to the far corner. And he hit it quite clean. So I'm not going to put much blame on the first, but the second, he's tangoing and doing the salsa with someone, or yeah, I don't know what he was doing. He was just linking arms with the guy in front of him and got completely swamped. So for that, and again, the kicking out from the back thing, I'm going to give him a 4. Didn't really have to make many saves, and what he was meant to do, that second goal really sticks. And again, it's what we've been saying about Leno for the season. He's not commanding enough for me, so I'll give him a 4.
It was telling, wasn't it, when you see that they had 3 shots on target and they scored 2 of them.
Got two.
GunnerKing.
2. I think he did actually make 1 or 2 good saves. I've maintained he's always a good shot stopper. You know, I've gone into the season thinking we've got bigger problems. Thinking that we need a backup goalkeeper. I think we now need a first team one. Fuck the backup. Look, the defending for the second one is why the score is so low. Some of our fans are trying to say that he was fouled, you know, in the box. Like, for me, I'm sorry, yeah, I don't know. I'll die on this hill, yeah, but when you are relying on that decision being given, yeah, for your goalkeeper to do better, you got trouble, yeah? Because sometimes they'll get given, sometimes they won't. You know what? He was watching the ball, yeah? He was watching the ball, and he was nowhere near it. And his ability to command areas from set pieces, from a throw-in, from a corner, it's understandable, but a throw-in, like, nah. Sorry, he gets a 2.
And it's funny because obviously we were linked with the Brentford goalkeeper at the other end, Ryan, who was commanding, who was capable of playing a ball from the back. And how much would he have cost when we got him? If we'd got him at the time we wanted him?
5-7 mil or something crazy we was looking at last year.
It's absolutely mental. And I will go for a 2 as well, King. I think you basically covered what I was going to say. So we're in agreement for 2 for Bernd Leno there. So
just one more thing on the Leno thing, just quickly. I was at a tournament yesterday. I was watching some under 12, so primary school going into secondary school in September. Right. Good standard tournament, not academy level, but grassroots level. But a lot of the boys there play in academies and just come out and do a bit of grassroots in the summer. So quite a good standard. And where people always moan at the coach should do this, the coach should do that. There was a free kick against one of the teams, and the opposition stood right in front of the keeper. And if you saw how he commanded his area at 11 years old, readjusted his position, stood in front of everyone, like when he's just moving, people told his players get out of the way, and literally organised himself, free kick come in, and dealt with it. And I was just like, he's an 11-year-old kid. Do you know what I mean? Like the other team obviously set little traps for him. He wasn't buying into it. He's pushing players, moving them. He's shouting at the ref, "Look what he's doing to me." Then in the end, he stood in front of the other team's wall and made the save. And I was like, what more do you want? And even if he didn't, the referee probably would have given him a foul because he let the referee know they're manhandling me over it. And I was watching it at an 11-year-old, and I'm thinking, Leno, come on. Like, do you know what I mean? You're a seasoned pro. Scary stuff.
It's mental. Callum Chambers, GunnerKing, you can go first on this one.
1. Listen, people are blaming Leno for the first goal and saving the shot, right? So I'm going to go as far as to say this, yeah. It was him that made the clearance, isn't it, as well, that came out and then closed the ball, yeah? He could have let the ball go out, number 1, yeah? Right? He's trying to keep the ball in. I get it. It's commendable. But you got to look at what's in front of you, what the chances are of making a decent clearance, yeah? I think that in itself was a poor decision. But his attempt to close down the ball, embarrassing. Man got nutmegged, yeah, with a shot, right? All he had to do was stand him up. Like I know it's easy to sit here, yeah, and talk about the game as if it's easy, but in that moment, he had to do better. He just had, and he knows that. He knows that. So yeah, 1, man. Sorry, man. The rest of the game, I didn't see much from it.
I'd give him I agree with Chris. I think he could have done more in the first. And again, this is where communication is important because obviously Ben White's gone for the ball first. He's missed it. Leno can see everything. Chambers is under no pressure when he's cleared that ball. So actually, he probably could have just took a touch, brought it down, and then looked to play. And that's where Leno, again, got to be maybe. I'd say you can't, in the heat of the moment, you never know. But just a simple time, he might have then actually brought the ball down and then found a pass to Pepe or midfield, whatever it was. Or even if he cleared it then, he probably would have got better distance on it. We could have got up the pitch. So, and then, once he's then closed down, got to try and show him down the line, haven't you? And he's let him in very easy. I'd give him, I think overall game wasn't bad. I think it's going to be easy to criticise him all the time, but I'll give him a 4. I don't think done anything spectacular, but yeah, I'll give a 4.
Yeah, I think he was pretty poor. Arteta left it late to change him, even though they made the wrong substitution. But we'll go into that in a bit. Um, I'll give him a 2 myself. Right, next one, debutant Ben White. Shaky, if you ask me. King, on, you can start us off again with this one.
3. But look, I've said it all summer on all of my court sessions. You know, all of the gunslinger shows. If we're expecting a 24-year-old centre back to come in and just hit the ground running, yeah, and just be that guy straight away, yeah, he lost nearly 50% of his aerial duels in all of his matches last season. He was in a back three system that employed people that were much better in the air next to him. So for me, this is the biggest problem with Arsenal. We bring in players and we don't look at what is it that made them a success at their previous club and how do we emulate that. We bring the player in and we're like, no, he's doing it the Arsenal way. And the Arsenal way is apparently putting Pablo Mari next to him and Chambers to the right of him, Leno behind him. Yeah, Tierney's the only guy in that back four that I could say is going to be a guy that is going to be part of those guys in a future-proofed and solid defense. So, look, I'm not going to dig him out too much. Like, his aerial presence was already his blind spot, and you put him against Ivan Toney in his first match in a back four system.
But
It seems like he was set up to fail based on all of these things that I know, and I'm not even a manager. I'm not even a manager like that. Man can just go on FB Ref and look at those stats right now and see that he lost 50% of his aerial duels last season. Sorry. So yeah,
I honestly thought we did buy him to play a 3 in the back system. I remember a few weeks ago on Gunslingers, we did the possible 11s, and I opted for the 3 at the back. And I thought that would be the reason why we bought Ben White, because obviously he can then move in different positions. He can move onto the right, he can move into the central midfield, and come back in the defence when needed. And I agree with King. I just don't think this system suits him. Gumsa?
Yeah, I've had a hard day at the office. On the ball, no problems with him. But again, that physicality is going to be a big Achilles heel, I think. And yeah, it's going to come back to bite us. And I think teams will watch that and say straight, yeah, just play off him, then put anything long, go on Ben White's side. And I think that's going to be a big problem for us going forward. So yeah, I'll give him a 4 to the other two, and I think they were worse than him. So I'll give him a 5. But yeah, it's not just one person. Do you know what I mean? It's a collective issue we've got right now. So yeah,
It is. And King, what would you give him?
I gave him a 3.
3. Yeah, I probably. It's harsh, you know. Like you said, he's still quite young. It's his first game for Arsenal in the Premier League, but you got to be fair. And I'll give him a 3 myself. So we'll play it down the middle. We'll give it a 3.5, something like that. For Ben White.
Yeah, I can live with that.
On to Pablo Mari, who was probably for me the worst out of the two.
yeah.
He looked out of sorts during pre-season. He looked out of sorts in that game. I'm actually quite surprised he did start. I was half expecting maybe Holding partner in White. And before anyone says, "Oh, Holding's been playing on the right-hand side," but yeah, he can play on the left-hand side as well. He proved it against Chelsea in the cup final. We had Diego Costa in his back pocket. So,
Well, if Ben White's the better footballer as well, surely he can play on the left-hand side, right?
well,
Yeah.
exactly. So I thought maybe he'll try that out, but it wasn't to be. Gumsa, Mari, low down.
Disappointed. I think last year he had a good season. From pre-season, he's looked off it. And this is a problem for me, is he's not been played on merit or form. He's literally been played because he's got a left foot. Everything in pre-season should be screaming he shouldn't be in that starting team to start with, to be honest. Hadn't been good enough. Could have been a case of putting Tierney there and playing Nuno on the left, because actually I've liked the look of Nuno. So Mari for me will get a 2 because he doesn't look like the Mari we saw last season. And that is a big mistake from Arteta playing him, actually. So yeah, for me, he get a 2. He one of the worst players on the pitch by far.
Yeah, King.
The same, pretty much everything Gumsa said. Yeah, I mean, I would add that he's not just being picked on merit. He's being picked solely because he's the most experienced defender. when in
He's got a left
relatively
foot, I think.
speaking of age, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I've been harping on about this all summer. Listen, we can bring the average age of the fucking team down. That don't bother me. That's great. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you got appreciate and value assets that you're going to be able to sell later on down the line. But the reality is this, yeah. When Alan Hansen said you can't win anything with kids, he fucking meant it. Yeah, you can't. You literally can't. Like, they need. Do you know what I'm saying? Kids don't parent themselves. Yeah, they need guidance. And at the moment, right, we're so devoid of leaders. We're giving Xhaka back the armband after what he did to it, right? Boys against men. That's what Jamie Carragher called it. And I have to say, it's pretty accurate a statement. But when you're sending out boys against men, that's what you're going to get. So, yeah, Armoury 2. And he's not an Arsenal. I don't understand in what world he gets looked at by our coaching staff. And they can say with chest that this is an Arsenal defender. I mean, I've feasted, I've bathed on Sol Campbell's, Tony Adams, you know, even Gallas, like Torre, you know, like, don't bring me this side, man. Don't do that, please. I beg you, like.
Yeah, and I'll go with you boys as well. We're going to give Mario 2. Let's move on to something a little bit more positive, and that's Kieran Tierney. So, Gumsa.
Just give him the armband from now, please. For me, him or Lacazette for the armband. If Lacazette is going and he looks like him and thing don't get on, then fair enough. It's got to go Tierney. Forget going back to Xhaka. It's for me, he's everything that we need. You know what I mean? He's the only one that makes runs off the ball. He's tenacious. He gets stuck in. He fights. He shows determination, heart. Again, for me, second best player. Well, actually, between him and Smith Rowe, the best in that game. I'll give him a 7. Couldn't do much about the goal. Like, he stood still. The guy's got a run on him. Again, Xhaka, and I think it was Saka was out there marking him. Xhaka's walking out the box and Saka's coming half-hearted and Tierney's got no chance. He's in the zonal area. So, yeah, no fault for the goal. And actually, he's just shows, do you know what I mean? Just pride. That's all. Do you know what I mean? More than anybody, he just fights. And for me, yeah, he deserves the armband. And I feel we'll be lucky to hold on to him for another 2 years because I'm watching City who need a left back. And if I'm Pep, I'm saying, yeah, that's the replacement I need. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping we can get something sorted in order to keep holding him for a few more years. Otherwise, I think he'll be gone if it carries on this way.
Yeah. So what score did you give him? 7?
7, yeah.
King?
I'm going to give him a 6.5. He did misplace a few passes in the final third. But listen, look, Gums has summarized everything perfectly. Like his industry, his movement on and off the ball. I've always liked as a fullback. We see him going forward a lot, but it's not as simple as just saying he's an attacking fullback. This is one of the most well-rounded fullbacks in world football right now. Yeah, I fucking said it, rivals. Yeah, this is one of the most well-rounded fullbacks in the game at the moment. Right, as in defensively, there is not much of a difference, if any, in his ability to affect the ball and the game going forward as well. So, yeah, he brought that all-round game to this, and he was let down by his teammates, by his manager, by our owner, and by Edu. So I'm not going to dig him out for that. As I said, it would be a 7, but I did notice a few misplaced passes when he had a bit more time and space on the ball. But look, yeah, probably I would say he was one of 3 players that can walk off that pitch with their head held high. Gumsa named the other one. I'm saying with Chess Lokonga as well.
Well, yeah. We'll move on to Lokonga now. I'll just echo what you guys say, and then I'll just give Tierney a 7. So we'll give him a 7 for that one. So yeah, Stanley Lokonga. So King, if you want to carry on.
Listen, this guy, right? This guy, there's so many things I loved about what I saw from this guy on the pitch, especially in the second half. In terms of wanting the ball, a few times where he received the ball in tight areas and he used his feet to get out of the press. All of his passes, right? He wasn't looking sideways. This man wasn't looking sideways. This man was looking forward. Yeah, this man was making incisive passes. He was finding people in the right areas. closer to or in the final third. And in the second half, what I noticed was that he started to really dictate our play going forward. You know, as in like he would be the cornerstone that forward movement and transition would start from. Now, this is the other thing, right? Off the pitch, right? These are the levels, right? Xhaka is employed, yeah, to be your captain after what Xhaka has done previously as the captain. This is the first time since then that he has started the game as captain. Who does the post-match media talk?
The
Who
new
faces up and
21-year-old.
addresses the fans?
It's mad.
Not only was it not Xhaka, it was this 21-year-old who had just made his professional debut for Arsenal Football Club, right? And you know what? My man did it.
He
He
did.
stood up, he faced the music to be counted. And I'm telling you, right, in that moment, that meant more to me than anything that had happened on that pitch. This is a sign of what is to come from this guy, yeah? People have been laughing at us, yeah? And people have been saying, oh, yeah, well, effectively, you've only done one deal when we've done three. Just because the other two, yeah, didn't cost 50 million and come from Real Madrid, yeah? This man cost 17.5 million and came from Anderlecht. And he came as their captain. And in that moment, I saw why he came as their captain. And I saw why we paid the money we did for him. And listen, this guy is he's gonna have a good season. I can see it.
So your score?
Oh, sorry, yeah. I give him a 6. I give him a 6 because I think he started off a bit slow in the first half, and there were, you know, the nerves probably got to him of the occasion. He did misplace some passes, but yeah, I think if I've given Tierney 6.5, I've got to give him a 6. I can't say he was better than Tierney.
Yeah, I agree. I think six is a fair score. I just love his confidence on the ball. And sometimes he made it effortless when he's bringing the ball forward as well, didn't he? He just oozes confidence. And for 21-year-old, it's very encouraging. Don't want to heap too much pressure on him. It's only the first game as well. But from what I'm seeing from him, I'm very encouraged. And throughout the whole of the season, he might stake a claim in actually starting in all the games, especially when Partey's back and say if we did get a Basuma or anybody else in that position. So, yeah, Gumsa.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Sambi done well. Again, sometimes you just look for little things. That's why I always say I'd rather do the eye test than the stats. But like Chris said, I think he was one that transitioned the ball quite well going forward. I see him drive through the midfield a few times with the ball, got his head up, played forward quite a lot. He tried a little cheeky 1-2 with Smith Rowe at one stage. He dinked it, and Smith Rowe just couldn't get under control. And it's just those little bits of flashes which serves me well, because too many times a guy's made that run and we just go and do the safe option. And again, watching the game back, it was very, very safe, that game. So just little things like that inspire me to think, oh, at least he's going to try something different sometimes. I would like to see him go past the ball a bit more. So if the ball's moving, I'd like to see him make a third man run, just giving options, because again, we just don't do it enough. But I think for debut, done very well. I was really happy with what I'm seeing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. So I'll agree with you guys. I'll go with 6.
Can I just add as well, yeah, that this man is another man that's like been made a sacrificial lamb, yeah, sent to slaughter, yeah, by having Granit Xhaka play next to him, who lacks the mobility, yeah, and lacks, you know, sort of the engine, the physicality, and the defensive and positional awareness, yeah, to properly cover him when he is trying to affect the game going forward.
We're actually going to move on to Granit Xhaka now.
Boy.
Listen, let me just start here. Take away the captain, because that's another conversation. Take away the captain. Take away the odd mistake at the back. But for me, his passing was excellent, and he actually drove forward quite well for me as well. I don't think he had as bad a game as people, you know, make out.
He was all right.
Yeah, there was defensive errors in there, which will bring his score down. But I do think his passing and at times going forward, I didn't think it was too bad. I don't think I would probably give him a 6. He probably would have got more if it wasn't for the mistakes. I'm ignoring the whole captain thing because I don't think he should be captain myself. But I honestly think I didn't think he had a bad game that people made out. King, you're shaking your head. Talk to me.
5 at best. I'm sorry, yeah. Like, look, you're the experienced player. You're the leader, and nothing to me demonstrated that he had a command of that game. Let him have command of his own midfield. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, a championship team overrunning us in midfield. You know, I think, yeah, okay, there was good passes in there and he was driving forward and whatnot, but I'm just done with him. I expect more of him. I know we're not going to get that more from him, and we're still playing him, and he's still here. And not only is he still here, yeah, and we rewarding him with a new contract and a pay rise. It's like, there you go, have the armband as well. Why not?
I honestly thought Tierney was going to be given the armband for that game. When I saw he had it, I was shocked. I'm not going to lie.
This is the day we got rid of Joe Willock.
I know. And that's another thing as well. I mean, we have no goals coming from midfield, and he was the only one.
I see. There was a couple of images. Then watched it again. You know, sometimes you don't pay attention to the little bits at the side of the screen where it says like this many goals or whatever. A couple came up which were telling for me. On the game on Friday. So last season it said the top goal scorers for Arsenal, and it was, I just took a picture of it. Lacazette. This is all competitions, by the way. Lacazette 17, Pepe 16, Aubameyang 15, Saka 7, Nketiah 6, Willock 6, and then after that, I think no one has scored more than 2 goals. And I'm not heaping all that on Granit Xhaka. It's a collective, but that's to me just ridiculous. And then another one stat come up, and this is where my criticism of Xhaka comes in. I think from losing positions at half time, I think out of 16 games, we had only won, I think
14.
I don't think we had
14.
won.
It was 14.
We had lost 14.
So that became the 50. That became the 15th game
15th,
that we haven't won after we've gone down at half time.
Yeah, and
So,
we've drawn 3. We haven't won. And not saying it's all Xhaka's fault, don't get me wrong, but a big part of Xhaka plays in all them games. And what I say to people when people say about Xhaka's a good leader, I say, show me clips where he's led from a losing position. Xhaka's only a good leader when we're winning. If you see when we're winning or when we score, that's when you see Xhaka motivating. Show me a clip of Xhaka motivating when we're getting beat, or him putting in the crucial tackle and firing up the players, or him driving forward. And show me them videos. I said, I've got clips of Guendouzi doing that. Remember when we were losing and Guendouzi all of a sudden takes it by the scruff, gets us forward, plays the pass. Xhaka, I've never seen him do it from a losing position. So for me, it's easy to leave when you're winning. When you score and say, come on, that's easy. You just scored. When we're in the dumps, drive me forward, and he doesn't bring that. So everyone knows I'm a big critic of Xhaka. I will stand by when I say he's been our worst ever signing. So don't get wrong, there's been worse players than him, but he's been our worst signing because of what he's brought and where our team is now, and it falls on the back of him, I do believe. But I will say he wasn't bad on the weekend, on Friday. I would say he gets a 5. He got caught on the ball once or twice. But I tell you, if Xhaka's facing forward, he can find a good pass. The problem with Xhaka is when he's facing his own goal and people press him, he has no awareness. He needs wing mirrors to play football, I think. If we install 2 of them on his shirt, he might be a player. But so I'm truthfully and I'm honest. I do think he had a good game on Friday. Again, I do want more from our centre midfielder, but I don't think he's as bad as what everyone's making out. He gets a 5, but I'm not happy with this contract and this captaincy thing.
No, I'm
not happy with it. But on 90 minutes, I give him a 5. I don't think he was that bad at all. And like you said, he did find some good passes, so we've moved forward.
So we give Xhaka a 5 on that whole midfielder thing. I mean, it depresses you even more when you see Man United the next game and all their goals came from midfield.
Oh my, don't.
It just says it all. Nicola Pepe, King, go on, start us off on Pepe.
I think 5 at the best. Maybe a 4.5. Obviously, had the attempt at the end, which was well saved. Other than that, I didn't really see him in the game. He was trying things, and he was getting in good positions. but he wasn't doing enough when he had the ball to really kind of trouble or affect the game. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll have a good season, but I think he needs help again. You know, with better creative players to play off, and also Chambers at right back stifles him a bit. You know, like I think when you saw Pepe last season playing on the left with Tierney with him, he looked a lot better. You know, I think he plays well with Cedric as well, but I think because Chambers, his career started out, you know, at youth level, he was playing mostly at centre back and defensive midfield. Some games at right back, not like the other way around. And I just think he can't really offer Pepe the sort of foil that he needs to play off. We need a specialised right back who is going to be able to help his game in terms of like overlapping, underlapping runs. You know, even if that person's not an option you use, he's drawing a defender away from you and giving you space to operate. And I just think there's a disconnect on the right hand side between Chambers' overall defensive mindset, whilst he's getting better going forward. He's just not very good either. But yeah, I think I can't really give Pepe more than a 4.5, actually, not a 5. For that reason.
Yeah.
He wasn't our worst player. He wasn't the best player.
Yeah, he had flashes. I don't think he played overly bad, but like you said, there just wasn't enough service for him, especially down that side. I would probably give him a 5. I think 5 is a fair score. Let's try and get through this quickly. Gumsa?
Yeah, it's 5 again. You can see he's got them flashes, but again, there's not enough. Not when you see what the guy next to him put in. When you then got 72 million out on that side, and he's not really giving you. He's just going to give you them clutch moments. You know what I mean? As I said before, he's like that boxer where he's trying to steal around at the end. He gives me them vibes all the time. But yeah, it's not his fault. I'm gonna like agree with everything you say about a player working with him, and I think Odegaard gives him that bit of license. Odegaard likes to run in on that right side, which then gives Pepe a bit more room on the inside. But yeah, not his fault at all. But yeah, I just want a little bit more sometimes from him. So I'll go 4.5 as well.
Excellent. Gabriel Martinelli. I think he did struggle a bit there.
Massively.
He only got off the plane, didn't he, from Tokyo? So it was. I think it was a bit mad getting him in straight away. I know he'd been back a good few days beforehand, but when he hasn't really had a pre-season, he didn't really play that much in the Olympics as well. I thought it was a bit of a brave move to start him. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I think a 4 is probably fair enough. King?
4, maybe 5 maximum. Yeah, it's not his fault either. I think there was a point in that game where he should have just put him up front next to Balogun. I feel sorry for him and Balogun. Those are the 2 players that I feel sorry for the most on that pitch. It's a bit harsh, and I think he's another player that's going to have a good season. But yeah, I didn't really see him influence the game in any way, shape, or form.
I think you lot have been very kind. I think you lot. I said it.
Well,
it's
yeah,
taking me to go back and watch.
I think I am as well. I think I'm being kind because
I went back and watched it. I'm sorry to jump over you,
that's
Chris.
all right.
I'll be honest. I like Martinelli, but I'm giving him a 2, and that's just because I like him. He did absolutely nothing. It was, yeah. If you go back and watch it, I'm telling you, it stood out a mile. And I do feel sorry for the attacking players, and I've made this clear. I don't think we do enough up front. We don't create enough. We ask them to do so much defensively. But
I've got another stat for you on that note quickly.
yeah.
Balogun, when he left the pitch, he had 13 touches.
Yeah, I agree.
The closest player to him when he had left the pitch had 6 extra touches.
Yeah. Who was that? Martinelli or?
Yeah.
But what I will say is when Balogun touched the ball, it looked more purposeful. Martinelli looked lost.
Yeah.
And I get what Tony was saying. But equally, I think the reason why he started, because at least he's been playing competitive football the last few weeks, whereas I think Saka and them guys have been holidaying. So Martinelli would have had his holiday at the end of the season, would have got back fit for Olympics, and then came across, whereas Saka's on the flip. He's been at Euros, then he had a rest. So he's going to be behind. But I saw the Saka come on, and within 3 minutes, he had done more than Martinelli. And that's not me being, I've been totally truthful. I like Martinelli, but the only thing I actually saw him do of note was win that header from the corner. Apart from that, he didn't offer anything. And yeah, it was not his best game. So I've got to go for 2 for him, if I'm honest.
To be honest, I wouldn't argue with that.
No. We'll give him a 3. We'll give him a 3 or 4. We'll give him a 3.5.
I think we're being kind because we like him. I think that is, yeah.
Right, this man, for me, the standout. Trying to make things happen, getting into little pockets of space, trying to find ways through. I mean, listen, we all love this guy, don't we? And we all know what he can do. He just needs the right players around him, all the players around him to be on their game. For me, he was our best player. I would give him personally a 7.5, maybe, because we didn't actually get any goals or any assists. If he had done that, he would have got a lot more. But yeah, I think a 7.5 is probably fair for his performance. King?
7. Yeah, mate, 7, 6.5, 7. I'm hovering around that area. Yeah, just the way he picks up the ball. I mean, like, I don't like comparing our youngsters at all. For me, he's the one I'm looking at more closely from like years of watching him at youth level as well. And what I like about him is when it's not just wanting to receive the ball and doing that, it's basically if he can make a player commit to trying to take the ball off him and lose them, yeah, or he can be patient and recycle the ball. He shows real maturity, you know, like I think Saka and Martinelli are more direct and like more instinctive and intuitive, and he's a lot more of a strategic kind of thinker. And like when he's got the ball, like he's like, all right, you can see him angling, you know, like or what he's going to do. And I love when he received that ball and just turned the defender, running on goal, great shot in, keeper saved it. For me, that epitomizes Smith Rowe, you know, like receiving the ball very quick on the turn and on the half turn. He really leans on that low center of gravity that being slightly shorter has, to be able to do that, to be able to turn in and out of players. And yeah, when he's driving with the ball, he's not necessarily the quickest, but it's scary when he's running at you, you know, like, and when a player can do that without pace, it just shows you what ability they have, you know, with their feet. So yeah, I just like, I really like the guy, man. And I think
7.
the other thing as well, he's committed. You know, like you can see, like even if he has an off day, you never look at him and think he could have tried harder. You know, like he's, yeah, my guy, man.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Gumsa?
Best player on the pitch for Arsenal. Echo what both of you said. Love the kid. Again, as much as he's got all the ability, first things first, he works hard. Do you know what I mean? That's what you answer for, isn't it? Like there's a couple of times he's tried to make runs in behind, ball didn't come perfect. It might have run out of play or you got shepherded out. But the fact he's ran 30 yards to try and make something happen, anything that happened that game, he was involved in. So you got to applaud. And again, if you can now put the right players around him, you've got one hell of a player there. So yeah, for me, he'll get a 7.5. Regardless if we scored or didn't score, I will base it on actually at least he was in the areas or trying to create things. You couldn't, the same as when we had Ozil, you can't blame him if people are missing or not taking the chances or haven't seen the runs for the balls he's put in. So I will give him a 7.5. I think he was really good.
Excellent. Okay, right, we've got 5 more ratings to go through. So let's try and do about 30 seconds on each of the remaining ones. So Balogun, King, go.
3. At best.
I actually agree with you. I agree with you.
I'm sorry, look, it's not like he got in good areas, he got in good positions, but he looked lonesome up there. I think Arteta hung him out to dry, and I think when you're 1-0 down, and what difference does it make whether you lose 1-0 or 2-0? You're losing to a newly promoted side. I thought the smart play was to put Martinelli right next to him as a second striker, and to play that guy off of him. Instead, he took Martinelli off and remained playing with a lone striker, albeit making Pepe a false 9 or whatever. Tactical ineptness didn't help him, but yeah, I can't give more than that.
Yeah,
You know, barely had it. And he didn't have any touches, as I said. You know, like you can't affect a game as a striker with no touches. So I'm not putting that down to him. You know,
it's not his fault. He looked alone. He really did look alone.
Mm.
And yeah, I think you've covered all base there. 13 touches. Some of his shots were a bit wayward, let's be honest. Probably not his fault. He didn't think he was going to be playing the game the day before, did he?
No.
So yeah, I think a 3 is a fair score. Just quickly, Gumzo and Balogun.
I'll go higher. I'll go 5. Yeah, I said can't fault him for anything. Anything he done, really and honestly, I think he was on the verges. So he had one shot which went crazy, but I think whoever the defender's got a touch just before Sergio Rico just got a touch on it before he got the shot off. But he done well to spin in there. I think it was offside. He got a header in. When he got hold of the ball, he looked after it well. He set it off. Don't think he'd done anything wrong. Yes, 13 touches looks really bad, but is that his fault or down to the system?
It's not.
Yeah.
And that's where I would say, again, I've defended everyone that's played through the middle for Arsenal because I said if 350,000 a week Golden Boot winner is struggling, what can I expect a kid of 19 or 20? And this kid's making his Premier League debut. So everything he did do, I think he done well. And again, the system is what has really killed him. So I agree with when Chris says, actually, he's been slammed to the lamb to the slaughter. I agree with that. But actually, in isolation, when I looked at what he'd done again, when I watched the game back, actually, he'd done all he could do with what he had. So I will give him a 5.
That's why we love you, Gums. You got such a big heart. Right,
Nice
let's
to
go
meet
through the sub. Right, through the subs, we're just going to give a score.
Just with a score.
Just a score. So starting with Saka, who came on the 59th minute for Balogun.
6.
5.5.
I'm going to go 5. Reece Nelson.
4.
3.5. 3.
Yeah, I'll go for about 3.5 myself. And Nuno Tavares, who really didn't have much time to do anything. Although he wasn't too bad when he came on, but yeah, quickly.
Not too bad.
I'll give him a 5. Tried
Yeah, same.
something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go for 5 as well.
I'd sooner play him than Chambers as a right back. Says it all.
And then are you ready for this one? Gumza, please. I know you're usually an optimist with him, so let's go to you first.
On watching it back, I'm not going to go. If I scored this on Friday, it would look a lot different. On watching it back, actually, one thing I will say, whoever sacked our set piece coach, they need to be sacked because both goals came from a set piece again, and set pieces were killing us in pre-season. The first one came because we cleared the corner.
We hired a
came
new
back
one.
in on the second, which happened a lot in pre-season. Yeah, he needs firing straight away because it's the same as pre-season. There was about 2 goals in pre-season, weren't it, where we cleared it and it was on the second action we conceded. That happened again for the first goal, and the second goal was a throw-in. So, but I'll tell you get a 3. But yeah, if you had asked me on Friday, it would have been a 1. But yeah, I'll give you a 3 because we played all right, but we just didn't have the cut and thrust. And that comes from having, a lot of big players out at the top.
King, you're usually quite the optimist as well when it comes to Arteta. So what would you give him?
1.
1.
Yeah. And look, I want to get to it and say this, yeah, it's not just about the game, right? It is clear as daylight, yeah. It's commendable. You've got a system, you've got an ethos, you've got a philosophy that you want to come and you want to bring and you want to instill to this team. It ain't working, bro. Passing out from the back, yeah, there's patient and probing, giving defenders and defensive-minded midfielders the license to take touches and not do the basics. It's not helping us. And this man is going to die on this sword. I genuinely, like, I can't defend him anymore. Because the thing is, you can't, as I said in the beginning of the show, the definition of insanity, yeah, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I can't remember who made that saying, yeah, but it's very famous, yeah. And Arteta at the moment, his tactical setups, yeah, are the definition of insanity. You've got Leno in goal, yeah. Gumsa, I owe you an apology letter. George,
I'm
who I
waiting
was-
for. I'll send you my address later.
who I was on the show with, yeah, with on Jess's show the day before when we did the preview. He looked me in the eye, dead in the eye, and he said, "Chris, I am telling you, we need a goalkeeper more than a central midfielder and a number 10." And I laughed at him. But I didn't laugh at him, but you get what I'm saying. I challenged
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
critiqued
yeah.
his point of view, yeah.
And come 10
I'm
p.m.
not
Use an
laughing now.
agreement.
And the thing is, if
Doesn't
you
it-
haven't got the personnel in key areas to carry out a system, change the system.
well, that's what I was about to
Because
say.
you
Well,
can
why-
sooner change the system than you can change the players, right?
hmm
But this man's not doing that.
Well, at other clubs that might not be the case, but at Arsenal, you're definitely right there. At other clubs, they might
it's
actually
the
change
fact-
the players, but
It's
Yeah,
the
not
fact,
here.
with respect to Brentford, that Brentford knew what to do against us. They knew.
They knew,
and
they knew
you
what
know-
to do against us because they knew that this man is too stubborn, right, to deviate from his ideals. That is the problem.
it's telling.
In Barbados. So, yeah. Yeah. Where's he gone? You just, we've got Leno in there, and we all know he can't play from the back. So why doesn't he just say, "I'll tell you what, just launch it.
Mm.
Do what you're good at, not do what I want to do. Do what you're good at."
Yeah,
Especially a team like Brentford, if we changed our system, they wouldn't have known what to do.
yeah, it's true.
You could see the game plan was there, and it's really baffling.
See-
King, what did you give Arteta there?
He gave him a 1.
One.
Give him a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Meet us in the middle.
the whole thing with Aubameyang and Lacazette, and a day before the start of the season, it's not a good look. I sent a tweet out saying, with what's going on, the Aubameyang Lacazette situation, is it Arteta that's causing all the problems?
No.
In the dressing room, it's got to be.
No, I mean, I think it's more than that. You know,
Yeah,
I think, there is him causing those problems. But listen, look, imagine you're Aubameyang 12 months ago, yeah, being made certain promises, yeah, on signing your new contract, yeah. We're going to bring in a creative midfielder to help you. We're going to bring in solid central midfielders on the more defensive side, yeah. They're going to be able to transition play forward to get you the ball quicker, yeah. And we're going to get defenders that are going to help your overall game as well. And seeing none of that materialize.
Mhm.
What does that do for you, psychologically speaking, yeah? You feel
Human.
robbed. You feel duped, yeah? And it's like, why am I going to give my 110%, yeah, when the promises that have been made to me, yeah, that rely on the decision making and the action of other people than Arteta, they bring that into the dressing room even before Arteta's made a decision.
Mm.
Do you get what I mean? Even before Arteta's had a chance to fuck up a tactical
Let's put it
setup
this way,
or a
I
team
would
sheet
love
or whatever.
to be a fly on the wall. I would love to be a fly on the wall because
there is a fly on the wall. There's Amazon in there. We're gonna soon find out, aren't we? So
Mate, he's
Yeah.
going to get sacked in
It's not
4K.
right, and
It's
Is it?
unfortunate. My man is going to get sacked in 4K.
and he ain't the first one to get sacked on Amazon Prime, but at the same time, it's different when it's Arsenal in it. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's a
Then
different
this is
kind
the
of
worst-
knock.
This is the worst thing
It's a
about
different kind of knock.
This is right. Did I give my score? I'll give him a 1 as well. I weren't happy. I'm still not happy, and I'm worried about Sunday. But we'll worry about that for the preview later in the week. Before we do disappear, just a little message. Yes, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. Before we do go, this was obviously the debut show for the Point Blank on the Armoury, but we got another one coming this evening, Gumsa.
We're in tonight. So yeah, I think even after talking about this, I really want to just focus on the right backs this today's show. I think that is a big problem area for us. I think that's going to be today's show is going to be about the right backs. We've got 4 of them, so we've got a lot to talk about. And then we'll be looking at other right backs around the league as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to that one. So
Also, I've lost
for that one. Anyway, we went longer than we thought we were going to, but it's the first show, so you know.
Yeah,
and
we're allowed to. We're allowed to.
It's the first game of the season.
Cry about. So
Yeah.
That's it, boys. Thanks for joining me as ever.
Nice one.
As ever, this is my first one.
Yeah.
Hope to see you on this show pretty soon. King, gonna court tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GunnerKing Court is back tomorrow. We've done a trade with Gumsa, so I think it's better to do the breakdown tactically of the game today as opposed to tomorrow. So yeah, it makes more sense. But we're going to be back tomorrow. Going to see what guests we can get available for that show, and I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Excellent. So thank you for watching, guys. I watched RC Football United TV, Barbados MUFC, Munsey. Good to see you, and RCBN, the Chelsea fan. I'm sure we might see you later in the week as well. Hopefully, we're giving you stick, and it's not the other way around. But I don't think. Well, we'll see what happens anyway. It could be very Arsenal that we get a result against them, but who knows? Anyway, boys, thanks for joining me, and we are out of here.
We are Arsenal.
When we born,
We love Arsenal.
oh